the opportunity to acquire this incredible mural series by Hart Benton for the Met's collection was thrilling.
Well, this is a little bit behind the scenes, looking ahead toward this exciting exhibition. I'm looking at them closely for the first time as I prepare. I think we were all blown away by Benton's ambition, his scale. It's beyond what I ever imagined it would be. The title of the mural is America Today. It shows a different side of Benton that many people either don't know or have forgotten.
It's a great New York story. It's almost sort of destiny.
Benton's originally from Missouri. He moved to New York and began teaching at the Art Students League. At this moment in his career, in the late 20s into the early 30s, he was very much immersed in the New York art world.
When Hart Benton took this great commission at the New School, which was itself a very modern, radical building, he knew how important it was. He wasn't really famous at this point, and he wasn't known as a great muralist at this point.
And this is when he put his stamp on the New York art world. He saw an opportunity, he took it, and he flourished.
He manages to capture what he felt was really exciting about New York City and urban life. Fast-moving subways and newspapers and signs and neon lights. You're moving past all of this stimulation very quickly. It's an extremely creative experience that captures the excitement of modern life in New York City at this time.
Benton formed through this series a quintessential American, not just style, but also a message stronger than any other mural message that existed in the United States.
I see him as a kind of cultural anthropologist. He's interested in the integration of life, how work translates into industrial production. You get the full expanse from rural to urban. There's lots of dancing and drinking. It's the era of prohibition. So he's showing kind of the seedier side of urban life in America, all of which looks pretty fun in retrospect. But he finished it at a point in time that it was clear that the Depression was real and it was going to be long. So he concludes it very poignantly with hands reaching for coffee and for bread.
The mural depicts the utopian dream of new society, but he doesn't buy into it entirely, because what you have here is a small warning about the effects of overconsumption, overproduction, some of the things that we're still grappling with nowadays.
It makes Benton look very contemporary and relevant, whereas not so long ago, he was dismissed as irrelevant.
I have to admit that as a graduate student, I was taught not to like Hart Benton.
Benton's critics complain that his art has remained mired in Americana, unaware that a whole new world of color and symbolism, abstract expressionism, has moved to center stage and left Tom Benton a million light years behind.
I think that the intellectual world of New York is even worse than the Congress of the United States if you're dealing with ideas.
This mural explodes that myth about Benton. You see how expansive his vision was.
There are these moments in an artist's career where they just throw themselves in to a project, and he had taken on clearly his most important student, Jackson Pollock, who involved himself in the project by serving as a model for many of the male figures in the mural. There was a lot of youthful energy there that was also providing great inspiration for this mural project. The room was intended to be a boardroom initially, and you know, it's comical to think of trustees trying to have serious conversations in this space, but they obviously did. And then over time, it was turned into a lecture hall with desks and chairs. As time went on, the murals began to discolor. The students pushed their chairs up against the panels, evidently, which forced Benton to return 3 times actually to do repair work. And after a while, it sort of became forgotten. I think the New School really hoped, you know, that the whole mural room might just disappear.
I went down to Chelsea and I saw them in storage, and I thought, these are amazing. They're vibrant, they're dramatic, and they connect early 20th century American art all the way through to the abstract expressionists. And then on top of this, I realized, look, the Met is a museum of period rooms. Here is a 20th century period room.
Benton conceived of this work of art not as a set of paintings, but as a room, as a space. It's such a great honor to debut the mural at the Met as a room to scale of the space in the New School where they originally hung for the first time since they were taken from that space. It's a modern panorama of life. There's, I think, something for everyone who looks at it.
America today is one of those works of art that has been a victim of the whims of taste. It spent a period in the wilderness, but I think now sufficient time has gone by that we see it with fresh eyes. There are themes and ideas that are more relevant to today than ever before.
It is of the city and about the city simultaneously. And so we are exceedingly grateful that this mural is available and will be available for not just the people of New York, but the very, very many people from across the world who visit the museum who will see this mural on an ongoing basis.